This is just Gavin there.
Oh, okay. The side salad. What's the side salad? Monday, or tomato, cucumber,
What's it on the side?
pound of cheese.
Double up your friends. What's it on the side?
Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. John F. Kennedy. Welcome to Progressive Voices of Arizona, a place where people can discuss the issues that affect people all over the nation and look for possible solutions to restore society's humanity. Kick off your shoes, grab yourself a snack and something to drink, and listen in with Scott and Kara, your hosts of Progressive Voices of Arizona.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to another dynamic episode of Progressive Voices of Arizona. Okay, well, it may not be that dynamic because we haven't had quite enough alcohol to get there, but we're working on it.
It's not going to be static, so somewhere in
that's true.
between.
Yeah, we're a dynamic radio show. Not
I was
going to
say, don't say
show.
duo, because I am not
Okay.
Robin.
All right, well, that just changed the whole picture. So we've had 1 week of President Trump. So tonight we're going to talk about that. But first, if you go and check on Facebook, you can find us on Progressive Voices of Arizona on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, Pro Voices AZ on Twitter. I believe is it @ Pro Voices AZ. And you can find our website, www.provoicesaz.com. Check us out, like our pages, tell your friends. It's always an interesting conversation, especially when we can get people to participate. So, which reminds me, you should send Carolyn a message and tell her we're on the air in case she wants to call in.
Oh, yay.
Because Carolyn's fun.
Yay.
So anyway, tonight on the first hour at least, we have with us Doug Abraham. And he's one of our recurring correspondents because we like having somebody that likes to shake shit up. But right now he's making a salad, so he's not talking very much.
Well, he might be tossing his dressing.
Oh, my God. Did you just go there? Doug, you're not tossing your dressing, are you? Because that's just wrong.
I'm not tossing the salad.
So anyway, we've had 1 week of President Trump, and he has just been busy. I think he's actually done more executive orders this week than President Obama in 8 years. It's just been a whirlwind. But the big news of the week, the wall is going to be built. And it's going to be paid for by a 20% tax, import tax. So, the question is, how is that going to help the United States? Because, say, for example, I want my 6-pack of Corona. Okay, well, there's going to be a 20% income tax on that, or
Import tariff?
import tax.
Or import tax, yeah.
Import tax, tariff, whatever. Okay, so doesn't that necessarily pretty much kind of like the whole idea behind raising the minimum wage? Well, if you raise the minimum wage, all the products, all the cost of the food at the restaurant is going to go up. So if you raise the import tax on my 6-pack Corona, doesn't my price go up? So realistically, who's actually paying for the wall? that's supposed to be paying by this tax? Me and you and Doug.
Meanwhile, we're still giving billions of fucking dollars to oil corporations and subsidies and.
Well,
If
let's
Walmart
be
wants to
specific.
do all their stuff from fucking China, they need to pay the tariff from
Okay.
the shit to come in from China.
Let's be specific about that. We only give subsidies in the dollar amount of $94 billion a year.
We could
to
retire
corporations.
off that shit.
So that apparently is okay. But the $55 million for food stamps, that's too much.
Oh, I don't want to pay another 19 cents for my fucking Whopper. Really? Are you going to be that petty if you're eating fast food? Well, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. No, it fucking isn't. People are just stupid. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they have some sort of brilliant logic that we just do not understand.
Oh, bullshit. They just like cheeseburgers better than ramen. And sadly, it's
Hey,
cheaper.
I'm sorry.
It's cheaper to eat unhealthy.
I happen to like cheeseburgers better than ramen.
I do. I love cheeseburgers better than ramen too. But is it wrong that you can get a cheeseburger cheaper than you can get a salad? Everyone's like, "Oh, you need clean living, healthy living, blah blah blah." But it's so expensive because it's organic.
Yeah, why don't they have salad
Seriously?
on the McDonald's dollar menu?
And
Honestly.
if they do, can it not have that chemically
Or
oh,
the
no,
other
that's
brown
the apples.
stuff.
That's
Yeah,
the apples. Ew.
Ew. Yeah, the apple slices at McDonald's suck. So I would advise you guys not to, because it's got a weird texture. It's got this weird chemically taste from the preservative.
But
Yeah,
do we not have farmers? Do we not have actually fresh produce to where we could?
Apparently not.
But I mean, seriously, I mean, you can't put that on the menu.
Well, not enough people want it. What do you think, Doug? We're like talking over you, and you're not even really chipping in.
Here's the real big problem with that one. We look at the farmers that we have. They're shelling out an ungodly amount of money to rent land or to cultivate the land. The government is underpaying them for their work. So we're having fewer and fewer of them. And I know this for a fact because we have a guy that rents land from us to actually farm it. I mean, a head of cattle costs him roughly, I think he said somewhere around $4,000 to $5,000 to raise in 2 years for one head of cattle. And the government turns around and pays him $3,000 for it and tells him to suck up the loss.
Wow, wow, that's just staggering. How many cattle are in a herd?
Well, think about it. Well, that depends on how much you. Yeah, that depends
Or
on
in
how
a
many.
head? What did you?
Okay. Let me go to the whole idea. Okay, when we went on vacation to Texas in September, last September, okay, one of the things that I noticed when we got to the Panhandle, where I grew up, is there was a shit ton of windmills out on all these rancher land masses. Because the ranchers, because in the Panhandle of Texas, it's mostly cattle ranches, okay? The ranchers can't afford or don't profit enough off of cattle to where they're basically selling part of their land or leasing part of their land for big old huge friggin' windmills. Because a good friend of mine from high school, her and her husband have a ranch out there, and they basically kind of subsidize their land. They take cattle in and they feed them up and then give them back to the owners. And they said that a lot of those ranchers would have gone under without those windmills because they make money off of the windmills. So why is it that you can lease your land for a big old huge giant windmill and make a profit, but you can't actually live off the land and be able to survive?
It's a hell of a question, really, if you think about it. As far as I can tell, the government is trying to keep control of everything that it goes on. And that's just one way to do it. For a farmer to lose $2,000 per cattle, that is really bad. especially when the guy that we know that's renting the land from us has roughly 35 cattle.
Wow.
Well, he's losing $70,000 every 2 years about.
I just don't understand that. I have such a hard time. I'm not anti-government. I don't want to see all-out anarchy because I think that would just be worse than anybody's can actually imagine.
Yeah, no, it's real easy to imagine.
Syria.
No,
Or,
Somalia.
Somalia. Not
Somalia.
Somalia.
No government whatsoever. It's a bunch of, it's...
So, I mean, it's fucking bullshit, but I mean, like, we have the corporate personhood shit where corporations have the same rights as people. So, basically, the corporations are basically raping us, but they're the job creators. No, consumers are the job creators. So, I mean, we need to just educate people. I just don't know if we have
You can't educate people that don't care or that don't believe. That's the problem, and we were talking about this earlier about the internet and, like, Facebook and stuff like that. It's really hard to try to teach people and give people accurate information when there is so much bullshit information available easier. 30 or 40 years ago, you had people like Walter Cronkite. Okay, it was actually giving
Barbara Walters.
They were actually
people,
giving the news. They weren't blogging and they weren't giving opinion. They were actually reporting the news, and we lost that whenever the what was that? The thing that Reagan killed.
The Fairness Doctrine.
The Fairness Doctrine got killed during the Reagan years.
Reagan. Dick.
And that basically said, okay, if you're a media outlet, you have to give equal time to both sides of the story. And Reagan said, "Oh, we don't want to do that," so they killed it. And now what do we have? That was where the beginning of Fox News. 87. No, it was like 87, 88.
87, okay.
So that's where the beginning of places like Fox News and Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh came from, is because once that went away, media outlets did not have to actually tell the truth. Fox News is not... You can't actually broadcast Fox News into Canada because Canada has very strict laws about their news. And obviously, Fox News is not really news in Canada.
Sean Hannity is not
a bunch of shit.
Credible source. Kind of like the pharmaceutical. I mean, just everything. They just don't allow all that influence and bullshit in their lives.
To be fair, though, most media outlets these days are non-fair. Okay?
We're all run by the same six corporations.
Yeah, but we bitch about Fox News. But when you look at MSNBC and CNN and all these other stuff,
they're all biased.
They are all biased according to what the people that own that establishment or own that source believes. So how Huh?
Remember, those are the terrorist news networks of America.
Right. And so how do you get real information when all you get is the terrorist news organizations of America? You know, where do you find real, accurate news? I don't know.
Listen to the BBC.
Well, we were watching the Monkeys on TV the other day, and that was pretty good for news. Al Jazeera?
Yeah.
Actually, the Young Turks is pretty good at reporting news.
Yeah, seriously.
What's the RT? Lee Camp is broadcast on it. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Anyway.
You have to go to places or you have to go to sources like The Daily Show and Bill Maher.
Comedians.
And to get real information.
Sadly.
Although they put it in a very funny and enlightening type of atmosphere.
Well, it's because you don't kill yourself and we'll watch their next season.
Right.
Seriously.
But yeah, seriously.
Take serious seriously. Serious.
Yeah, we've been listening to Harry Potter. So anyway, so we've gone through and Trump has signed an executive order blocking any kind of U.S. federal funding to worldwide abortion. And the funny thing